ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on. We thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin. We here at Angry Me Production want to thank our sponsor, Mobile Notary Mindy. She's certified with the National Notary Association. She's also bonded and E&O insured. She offers a wide range of services, including wills, powers of attorney, medical documents, healthcare proxies, living wills, certification of trust, assignment of personal property, HIPAA waivers, advanced healthcare directives, and 99 verification. You can find her on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Mobile Notary Mindy. You can also visit her webpage at TexasMobileNotaryMindy.com. That's TX, MobileNotaryMindy.com. Thank you so much, and enjoy the show. Okay. Well, how's it going, everybody? I'm back. You are not in any dire need of adjusting your sets, your TVs, your radios, your phones, or whatever device that you happen to be streaming us from this evening. It is I'm back. I took a week off. I know my perfect attendance record is now in the toilet, but hey, when you have a free weekend and you're able to take your wife to Galveston for a pre-anniversary getaway, you do it. So there's that. We are, unless David miscounted again, which has happened in the past, welcome to Nerd Sports episode 165. Our beautiful bearded bastard Chris Jacka will be along shortly. However, we're gonna see how we can right the ship. Right now, I have been tracking this game. It is Texas A&M versus the University of Kentucky. They're playing for a chance to advance to the, I believe it's the semifinals for the men's baseball College World Series. Right now, it's going into the 6th inning, and it is a nothing score right now. So, to all of our viewers that are tuning in right now, howdy. So, Max, I've got this tradition where every year I buy a new Red Sox hat, right? Last year, I didn't get that done, and they had a losing season. However, this year, I made it right. I got the new City Connect hat.
Oh, that's a beaut. Oh,
dude.
That's nice.
Not saying that one has anything to do with the other, but since I bought this hat, the Red Sox currently, let me get this all pulled up here. Since I bought this hat, the Red Sox are 6-4 over their last 10 games. And most importantly, they took the series win over the New York Yankees, who came into Boston for the first meeting of the year. And currently have a 5-1 lead over the Toronto Blue Jays north of the border at Rogers Center. So, and then Chris just texted, jumping in just a few. So Again, we will, with much ado, with much fanfare, we will welcome the beautiful bearded bastard, the eye candy of the show, in. So, I right, Bell chiming in, suck it, Yankees. See, the thing of it is that my kids have all been taught that the word Yankee or Yankees is a four-letter word. Nothing with pinstripes or an interlocking NY has ever been allowed into my home willingly. Back during my second marriage to Colin's mom, not the second marriage to her, but she was my second marriage. Anyways, you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Her mom, her mom, the former mother-in-law, and her husband took a trip up to New York City, and they went to Yankee Stadium. They went to, they saw a game, and but they brought back a souvenir. Oh, there he is. There he is. Ladies, gentlemen, angry faithful of all ages. He is here. He is back. He returned the same time that I did. The beautiful bearded bastard of San Antonio, the eye candy of nerd sports. Welcome back, Chris.
I may be late, but I'm always on time.
Hey, you know what? I mean, it's better late than never. Especially when you get that $20 sundress costing you about 70 grand in child support.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, I was just telling our viewers, that the perfect attendance record just completely went out the window. And I didn't really care, because when you have an opportunity to take your wife or your significant other on a getaway for a few days, you do it.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
I took Mindy to Galveston. That was an adventure. So that was an adventure, because she was like, you can pick the hotel, just surprise me. And I'm like, okay. So I'm about to throw a hotel under the bus. I'm going to put them on blast. Okay.
I did see your post.
Yeah. If you go to Galveston and you stay on Seawall Boulevard, do not go to the fucking Beachfront Palms Inn. Okay. Or the Beachfront Palms Hotel. Okay. For starters, it's not a hotel, because what do we call them when the doors are on the outside?
We call that a motel.
A motel. Exactly. So they advertise themselves as a hotel. Right. Okay. So, and I get it, right? You're on the sea, you're on the ocean, you're basically an island. Hence the name Galveston Island. But you would think that you are a place that tourists would come to stay, right? Get a good ocean view. You advertise an ocean view. Our room, from the window, you had to turn your head a little bit, crank it to get a view.
You could see it a little bit,
right? I mean, that's like realtors that's like realtors in the Puget Sound area up in Washington State, claiming that you have a great view of Mount Rainier. Well, fuck me, everybody's got a great view of Mount Rainier.
Eventually, at some time. Eventually.
Okay, now, and I would like to name these two individuals, Philippe and Gerard. They were two cockroaches. Why they're French, I don't know. That's just the way that it came out. And maybe it's because when I came into the room, they were on their backs with their legs up in the air, like a good Frenchman does when you turn on the lights or you scream at them really, really loud. They surrender. Help me, I surrender. Right? The bed, my God, dude, I've slept on piles of rocks that were softer. And I say that with all the love in my heart as an infantryman.
I was going to say, I believe that's actually true.
So
quite literally,
I called booking.com, finally got somebody on the phone. I said, this is horse shit.
There was your first choice.
That
was your first mistake.
No. I said, this is horse shit. They advertise themselves as a hotel. They're not. They're a motel.
they, I specifically, the room that I reserved was supposed to have a garden view.
They're not. They're a motel.
And an ocean view.
Right.
Somebody mute their YouTube screen or YouTube window?
I got nothing on.
There you go. Max, I'm looking at you.
Oh,
I felt it. I felt it.
You felt the eyes.
Right.
The eye of
I don't want to.
Right, the eye of Sauron was gazing upon you. Oh, whoop. Yeah, Texas A&M just took a 2-0 lead in the top of the 6th. Woo! Yeah, there we go. All right, so and how did they do that? I'm willing to bet the long ball. To see here. Oh no, actually, they're playing small ball. A double down the right field line. Runner advanced to third. Single to shortstop, and 2 runners score. How do you? Oh my God! And then now it's still nobody on. I mean, nobody out. 2 on. Oh, Texas A&M. I love thee. Whoop. There we go. All right. So back to my story. All right. So, I mean, I'm gonna, in full transparency, I cheated on my carnivore diet during this trip. Right?
Well,
You
yeah,
just-
it's vacation. You got to.
You kind of have to, right? And my body is still paying for it. I'm still trying to get back on the horse, that whole thing. But so we had made the decision that we're checking out in the morning. I had the room reserved for 2 nights. We're checking out in the morning, and we're going somewhere else. So about a half mile down the road on Seawald Boulevard, I just said, screw it. Checked in to the Holiday Inn Resort. It's part of the San Luis Resort complex right there. Dude, we were on the top floor, private balcony, overlooking the ocean.
With an actual ocean view.
With an actual ocean view.
Nice.
Right?
Can't be mad at that.
And carpeted room, clean bathrooms, no roaches.
There wasn't carpet in the other one?
No, I mean there was it was like an area rug with like the plastic gaffing strips around this, dude. And then this first hotel, you saw my post, right? So the first hotel, I took a picture of the ceiling, right? I'm sitting there, I'm like, why does this ceiling bug me? Like, why do I have this like odd sense of comfortability? It's not necessarily comfortability, but familiarization, right?
Right.
Like,
it's like deja vu all over again.
It's like it's way too quiet. There's not enough people in this room, and it's missing a black light and strippers. Right?
Right.
And then it dawned on me. The texturing on the ceiling in this first hotel is exactly what one would experience in the barracks.
Mm-hmm. It's probably
And I
done by the
suddenly
same contractor.
Right. Yeah, probably. I mean, I suddenly felt very dirty. Right? I mean, dead cockroaches aside, felt very dirty. Needless to say, I didn't go to sleep till about 2:30. Woke up at like 7:30. Slept like absolute dog shit. But I'm like, you know what? No, this is technically day 1 of our vacation. We're going to embrace this. We that first night we went and ate at Willie G's over there on the harbor side. So, Max, you remember last week I sent David the picture of the Texas and he put it up on the screen?
I do. Yes, sir.
That was the view from our table.
Oh.
I'm getting to stare at a badass piece of American history. And she is looking, she's starting to look real good, right?
Mm.
Let's see, the next morning we went to what was the name of that place? Holy crap. It's a breakfast place. I cannot remember the name of it. It starts with Miller's, I think. Yeah, I think it was like Miller's. No, it was Waffle House. There is a Waffle House in Galveston, and I mentioned something about Waffle House that first night because we had to get out of the room. We walked down to the beach. We saw a water spout.
Oh, nice.
I got pictures. I actually got a video of it. It was actually kind of cool.
You don't see that every day.
No. And so I'm like, okay. I saw the Waffle House, and Mindy was like, yeah, no. I was like, right. Yeah.
Rude.
No to Waffle House.
Right? That
Right.
is that just
So breakfast at this Miller's place, right? The French toast, bro. It's a cinnamon French toast that you did not need to put syrup on because it was that good. Yeah. Now, bear in mind, my taste buds were freaking out at this point because it was like the first time really I'm adding carbs back into my diet. First time really adding sugar back into my diet. I'm sitting there going, like my I'm sitting there going, holy shit, what have I done? Like, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to shit later, right? Kind of a thing. Like, it's not a Waffle House, it's a Waffle Home, right? Exactly. It's a Waffle Home, but bear in mind, Bell, my drinking had not been elevated to that point yet. Just kind of putting that out there. So, yeah, I consumed a rather large amount of alcohol on this trip. It was great.
That's what
Freaking
vacations
lovely. Right, exactly. We went to Pleasure Pier, played some games. I won my wife some stuffed animals, that kind of a thing. Of course, my wife growing up a basketball player in, high school, kind of showed me up, shooting the ball for, prizes. I'm like, yeah, all right, fine, whatever. You do you have that, right? Let me see here. We had thought about doing like a haunted tour, but I'm like, So we went to the Strand, walked up and down the Strand for a little bit. We did some old time photos, right?
love those.
That was so much fun. That was the first time I've ever done that. It was so much fun because, we're looking at the different packages, and she's like, "Oh, let's do the Wild West." And I was like, "No." Like, what about the pirate? No, they have a Victorian age, and I was like, "You girls are watching Bridgerton. We're gonna do some Bridgerton pics, right?" She's like, "Okay." Dude, that was so much fun, right? And the photographer, class act. She was professional. She was funny. You could tell she was from Louisiana because she had definitely had some Cajun Creole going on in there.
Nice.
And she was like, "Oh," like she was sitting there like going off about me because I'm nailing the whole looking down at you from my nose. Kind of like, this is what a lord looks like when he's looking down at his servants, kind of thing, right? She's
Yeah.
like, she goes, "I'm going to take this picture of you and I'm going to keep it for my portfolio, for her portfolio," because she's like, "You look like you straight up want to murder me." Right? I had the cane and I was holding the lapel of like, and I had that eyebrow underneath the top hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
High rise top hat.
Yeah, dude. It was fire. It was fire.
That's awesome.
But and then my wife, of course, she walks out of the dressing room and she's dressed in that those dresses where they're really low cut and it's like they have to pour themselves into it so the girls want to sit up. Yeah, dude. Definite hotness right there. But I digress. Belle, when she comes to see me next month, she's going to get to see these pictures. So
that's great.
So good. So yeah, if you go to Galveston and you visit the Strand, definitely check out the old time photos. The girl there is just she's top notch. She'll take care of you. Yeah, told her about the podcast. Of course I'm plugging the podcast. Oh, and so maybe she should remember that next month when we take the boys for like a short little weekend trip and we try to go in there, and she'd be like, "Hey, I heard you shout us out on your show," and she hooks us up with a little bit of a discount. That'd be kind of awesome. Wink, wink. But it's 3-0 Texas A&M. Whoop. All right, so the show's dragging. But yeah, so that it was a fun trip, and then we ate dinner at Salsas, which is a Mexican restaurant there on Seawall. Bro, that's good food.
Nice.
That's good food. And so, I hardly eat dessert anymore. I haven't eaten really dessert, but maybe a handful of times, and that was carnivore friendly desserts. I had the fried ice cream.
Oh, there you go.
On Tuesday night. Yeah.
I haven't had that in a long
Bro,
time.
I hadn't had that in a minute. And when I saw that was on the menu, I looked at the menu. I was like, I'm getting fried ice cream for dessert.
Yeah.
That's happening right there. And dude, this is so good.
Dude,
Yeah.
my daughter for Father's Day made me an entire key lime pie just for me. Because I'm the only one that likes it. But she made it, egg free.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Well, of course, because obviously
I've been macking on that thing. It was freaking fantastic. So
all right, that's what's up. I mean, we
Happy
got to
Father's Day to everybody, of course.
Yeah. So, happy belated, Father's Day. And this is going to be a hot take. This is going to be a take that's not really all that appreciated by some of our demographic, but Father's Day is for the boys.
Yes.
You single mothers who are doing both jobs, congratulations to you, but you have a day to yourselves called Mother's Day.
Exactly.
No, don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah. No. Father's Day is big dick energy day. Just
so dude, I sent Bella a picture of one of my Father's Day presents. It's a Magellan fishing shirt. It's green, right? And it's got pictures of a dad doing various dad activities like trimming the hedges, reading a newspaper, grilling, and my personal favorite, mowing the lawn. So, yeah.
You just want to
I rocked the hell out of that shirt.
You just want to excuse
Well, I don't need an excuse to use my mower because, in fact, yesterday, what did I do after we got home from church? Well, actually, once we got home from lunch, I changed clothes. I went out and mowed my grass. Mostly because we're staring down the barrel of a tropical storm.
True. She also got to keep up with that neighbor.
We're under flood advisory and tropical storm warning from now until like Thursday or Friday. So, yeah, it's going to get interesting here. Today, I maximized my time. I grabbed Colin out of bed this morning. I took him to Lowe's. We got new weather stripping for the back door. So I got that replaced. I got a couple of bags of sand, and I leveled, poured some sand in the backyard next to the patio where the ground's kind of low and water likes to collect. I'm trying to fill that in. I watered my grass. I watered my flower bed that I've revamped. So, I got some stuff done today, and it's 5-0 Texas A&M, still in the top of the 6th. 1 on, 1 out. Oh yeah. I knew it was a matter of time.
Speaking of A&M.
Yeah, I saw that. And okay,
I will say, I will before we do that, I do want to say that while I am not an Aggie fan, I will say that it's been very disheartening to see all of the hatred that Aggies as general are getting because of the actions of those two individuals.
Yeah.
Which, come on,
right,
guys.
So
you can't.
It was a day before yesterday. It was actually on Father's Day or Saturday night, early Sunday morning game in Omaha at the College World Series. A&M was playing Florida. Now, Florida has had kind of a tumultuous season. Their bat boy passed away unexpectedly, and these two
sick. I think I don't remember. I know
two uppity, not a representative of the overall fan base.
They're not representative of Texas at all, or
they're not representatives of Texas at all.
They are shitty individuals.
Texas A&M, they are not Texans in my book.
Absolutely not.
If they graduated from the University of Texas A&M or Texas A&M University rather, I think that they need to forfeit their Aggie rings.
Yep.
They need to be stricken from the record. You know, you can keep your degree, whatever, but you know, it's not a good look. The Omaha Police Department got involved, but these two Aggie fans, these Aggie supporters, started barking at the Florida dugout, making some off-color remarks and jokes about their deceased bat boy.
Who literally had just passed.
He literally just died.
Yeah.
And they were escorted from the stadium. The Omaha Police Department put out a statement, to the effect that this is not tolerated, and they will be banned from ever attending a College World Series game again. And they will be banned from the city of Omaha if the police department has their way about it.
I hope they hit a few door frames on the way out.
Yeah, I mean,
that was absolutely disgusting, and I could not. And it really, really bothers me that there's so many people on comment sections that are saying, "Oh, that's just Texas for you," or "That's the Aggies for you," or that. No,
every fan base, every fan base, including Red Sox Nation, Ranger Nation, what have you. It doesn't matter what team you root for, whether it's the Chiefs, the Cowboys, especially the Cowboys, the Eagles, especially the Eagles. My God, the Eagles invented okay. But do not, and I say this again. I mean, even the Eagles fans have those shining examples that are contrary to the rule. Okay.
Except the time they threw snowballs at Santa.
Yeah, that were laden with D-cell batteries. Yeah, no, I remember that. But don't take that as, or I mean, that is it's an anomaly. That's what it is. I mean, we're going to just call it what it is. It's an anomaly.
They're the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, they are the very smallest of exceptions, not the rule. Yes, the A&M fan base is known for things like midnight yells and bonfires, and we don't have cheerleaders per se, but cheer dudes or whatever they're called. I mean, make your jokes, plug them in, whatever.
But there's a spirit of
I mean, there's a very high level of esprit de corps when you're talking about the Aggie fan base,
right?
These two douche nozzles, and I say that making and that gives a bad name to the douche nozzles of the world. There's no place for that in sports, period. You can catcall, you can chirp all day.
Sure.
But the material has to be appropriate. You can make fun of somebody's mom before you start talking about a dead teammate
who's not even cold in the ground.
Yeah. I mean, not even, they haven't even been released by the
child at that.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
like, come on.
Yeah. There's a thing called class. You got to have that. You guys didn't do that. You should be banned from future events in Omaha. And if Texas A&M University really wants to make a statement, either have them hand over their Aggie rings or you ban them from future events or sporting events for, where Texas A&M is involved.
You cannot make a strong enough statement against these two individuals.
Yeah, I mean, you can't.
Absolutely not. Anything less than a total ban is almost a tacit approval.
Yeah,
is how I look at it. Like
but we also have to maintain. We also have to realize that there's a certain amount of realistic expectation. Okay, so yes, while these two guys need to be dealt with severely by the school, if they are alumni, then there's only so far that the university can actually go.
Right.
I say hand over your Aggie rings. I don't know if there's ever been a precedent where that has ever been asked of somebody.
Right.
But
and I understand it's probably not enforceable, but
yeah,
you still
yeah,
need to get out ahead of that.
yeah. I mean, at least, and I hate using this term, but for optics' sake, get out in front of it. And the university president and the athletic director needs to come out and make a statement that disavows these two individuals.
Yes. In the
And at least,
possible.
yeah, I mean, use the strongest possible language. I mean, for the love of God, use the F word in your statement. I don't care.
Mhm.
Okay.
It'd be wildly appropriate in this case.
Yeah. I mean, I will, for
fuck knuckles or something like that's
for a modest fee of my gas money to and fro, I will be willing to stand on the podium in your stead. I don't care.
Do like that Key and Peele skit with Obama and his hype man. Just do where they say the statement and then Johnny says what really should be said.
Right. Oh. Yeah, like you got the AD and the university president standing over there, and they say something, and when the camera pans over to me, because I'm supposed to be doing the ASL, I'm just like,
fuck those guys.
Like these fucking fucks right here, and I'm gonna have their pictures on poster board, right? Yeah. These fucking fucks right over here, they are a load that should have been swallowed. Yep. Yep. The best part of them ended up as a stain.
Yep.
On the Daisy Dukes that their mom was wearing. They veered so far from the straight and narrow that your average American college kid is now straighter than the pole their mom dances on.
Ooh, goodness.
Things like that.
Pretty straight.
Hey, Maria, what is going on?
Maria's with us. All right.
Right. I feel
party.
Yeah, now we've had Belle in the chat, but Maria's here, I'm just putting it out there. It feels like home. Just kind of saying.
It does.
We haven't made a David joke yet, and we're 30 minutes into the show. I think we're growing. I think we're maturing.
We got sidetracked is what it was. We got distracted. It's not that
whenever you have to address a somber issue.
That's true.
Yeah.
I feel like now that we
touch on that. Oops, sorry, gentlemen, didn't mean to do that.
Oh, who are we touching? What are we doing?
Well, no, I wasn't going to touch it, but just to touch on it, one thing that always happens when a story like this comes out, it feels to me in a lot of ways that the wrong attention gets taken away from, instead of the child, we give most of the attention to the negativity, which is the two assholes. And that's one thing.
Yeah, I mean, now to the media's credit, I don't believe in doxing people. I don't believe in putting them completely on blast. Just their faces alone. They're known within their own individual communities.
Mm.
They're gonna catch 10 shades of hell once they get on.
Listen, Aggies fans themselves are gonna go after these guys hard.
Yeah, Aggie fans are going to police themselves. So that is the way.
But you absolutely right, Max. That's a great point.
Yeah. Now, in baseball news, Anthony Rizzo could miss 4 to 6 weeks with an arm fracture. Couldn't happen to a nicer douchebag. Anthony Rizzo currently plays first base for the New York Stankies. No, I did not mispronounce that. I've already dropped the F-bomb enough times this show. I don't feel like adding to it by blaspheming, by uttering that Y word, that signifies the bums from the Bronx. Just kind of putting that out there.
You don't have any mouthwash available to you. That's what it is. Yeah, you need something to get that taste out of your mouth.
Even holy water's got a certain degree of arsenic to it. I'm not into self-harm.
Yeah.
But Garrett Cole is also set to come off the injured list and start on Wednesday for the Pinstripers, the Bums from the Bronx. Yeah, it leaves a bad taste. Monica Lewinsky said that when she was asked about voting Democrats. I would love nothing more than to see Garrett Cole get popped for using sticky substance on his return to the mound, or I don't know, maybe suffer a setback. During his warm-up pitches before the first pitch of the game, he throws some warm-up pitches, and then there's an audible pop heard around the stadium, and then he just falls to the ground writhing in pain because he has to go out for another Tommy John surgery. I mean, I that's a little dark, but hey, you willingly sign a contract to go play in New York, fuck you. All right, that's just kind of a thing. So I was talking to Max before you popped in here, Chris. So I've got this tradition where, and I'm growing my hair out. Check this out.
Oh, look at. Can I shoot?
Fucking show off.
So I've got this tradition where every season I buy a brand new Red Sox hat, right? Every season I buy a brand new Red Sox hat. Last season I didn't do it, and they had a losing season. The last Pac-12 event. Now we can start with the David jokes. David, that is so fucking random. Like, we're not even talking about college right now. Pac-12.
It's almost like
Pac-12. Are you kidding me right now?
That's what we've been missing.
Love you, Dave.
Just
the random probability that is David Dickerman.
Hey, did you see the highlight tournament this weekend? It's like, what the fuck? We're not even highlight adjacent. Where do you get that from? Hey, speaking of the Third Reich, what?
David is the Beachfront Palms Inn hotel of producers this week. I'm just kind of saying. He is the textured Derek ceiling. I mean, really, he's the popcorn texturing that ties the whole room together. Just kind of putting that out there. Love you, Dave. But anyway, so I decided I was gonna make it right. And so Chris, I ordered the City Connect hat for Boston. Because I fucking love this hat, right? Now, since buying this hat, the Red Sox over their last 10 are 6-4. And they took the series. They won 2 out of 3 against the Yankees at home this weekend. And currently they're up 7-2 over Toronto.
Maybe I need to find the Rangers hat and
find you a Rangers hat. I mean, dude, it's a great tradition. I mean, to quote Michael Scott, I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious. Just a little stitious. Okay?
I need to do something because damn. That's all I'm gonna say is damn.
Right. Because I had said this to Mindy. I was like, I bought a Houston hat 2 weeks ago. Their City Connect hat, their Space City uniforms are god awful ugly, right? But their City Connect hat, I wanted it specifically for the reason that on the inside of it, where it's got the seam tape that they stitch in there, it says New Era on it, all the time. Mm-hmm. Inside the Houston hat, it says Houston, the Eagle has landed. And it's got a silhouette of the Eagle lander, the lunar lander, on the inside of the hat band. And I'm like, to me, that's cool. That's literally the only reason I bought that.
That is kind of cool. I'll give you that one.
And I felt dirty as shit, right? Bought the hat because we went to go see the Astros play the Cardinals on the 4th, right? And I felt dirty as shit wearing an Astros hat. But I had a Fenway shirt on, right?
So yeah, you got to offset it a little bit.
Yeah. And a lot of the staff that works at Minute Maid are from the Boston area, oddly enough. right? I was getting stopped often while I was there. Are you a Red Sox fan? Yeah, brother. You come here and we gotta hug this out. And I'm like, okay.
One of us.
You know,
Do
I'm just like, I'm like, okay. But you know, so but yeah, not saying one has to do with anything with the other, but I mean, it can't be that coincidental. Just kind of throwing that out there. And on top of that, I did finally order the Nike Elite jersey for the City Connect. It's Rafael Devers jersey. Oh, okay, hold on. So I'm going to read something my wife just brought to me. All right, so I told you that we're staring down the barrel of a tropical storm, Alberto, this week. Travis Herzog, he does the ABC 13 from Houston. 22 minutes ago says, I've been getting a lot of questions about this, so I wanted to get a quick post out to say, yes, another tropical low could spin up in the Western Gulf this weekend. Details are fuzzy this far out, but early indications are that it will head farther north than our current system out there, and it could get stronger. Let us get you through the next couple of stormy, windy days, and then we'll tackle the next potential storm later this week. So let me see. I love how you don't. I love you so much. Like, okay, so I don't know if you can see that here. All right, that's currently what we're looking at. Or that's what's developing out there in the Gulf, right? That's for this coming weekend or whatever. The second one.
Do they have
So
landfall yet?
They're predicting landfall to be closer to the Mexico side, which is going to put us on the dirtier side of the tropical storm.
I just say that's going to be the rain side. Oh shit!
Is it Port Arthur? Yep. Okay, so between Houston and Matagorda Bay. So we're gonna get some weather. Now, to be fair, we went to the beach back in February, just to kind of walk, right? Because I needed to see the ocean, just walk in the sand, because it's very cathartic, right? The water was incredibly warm back in February. And so whenever the water is warm out in the Gulf, it sucks a lot of systems up in there that a lot of times will either develop into a tropical storm or they will turn into a full-fledged hurricane. So, yeah. And it's not the wind and the rain and the flooding that I'm worried about, right? That I could care less. I'll ride out a storm. It's the fact that my yard is going to get super saturated and I'm going to have to wait a couple of days before I can cut it again. That's what I'm worried about. Dude, I have become like a lawn geek. I have sprayed chelated iron and fertilized and dethatched my yard. I keep it cut at an inch and a half twice a week. I'm like I'm a grass whore, dude. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And I'm getting estimates on like 4 or 5 cubic yards of sand, which come out to a little over a ton each, to be delivered here to my house, so that way I can level my yard. So that way I can look forward to investing in a reel mower, REEL, something with 7 to 9 blades, a grass catcher, maybe a 5 to 7 pound weighted roller for the back. Yeah,
that'd be a hell of a project.
Well, just a couple. Either, well, what I would have to have them do is dump it in the driveway and load it up. I'd probably have to go find or rent a drop spreader and just walk it and just spread the sand out, and then get a leveling rake, or they're called yard loots, right? And I've got a landscaping rake in my garage that I used when I coached baseball. So I mean, it's just you run it around the infield or whatever, and there you go. Works great for leveling things, but the yard loot, it's a little bit wider and it's got a longer pole to it, right? So that way, you can get it out there. The idea is for me to get that sand leveled out and it's thicker in the lower areas and start watering it. So that way that sand sinks down into the soil and it pulls everything up. And so it's nice and level and I don't have that undulation.
Mm.
Because as it is now, whenever I cut my grass, dude, like the lighter green spots are the high spots. And that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Right.
Yeah, I want uniformity. I feel so dirty about that. But anyways, digressing. The Paul, I cannot pronounce his last name. Skeens, rookie pitcher from Pittsburgh.
Mhm.
Dude, this kid is on fire, bro. Fire. I'm like, I am excited about him. Like, I'm not necessarily a Pirates fan, but I would buy one of his jerseys. I'm just kind of throwing that out there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's out there twirling 100-mile-an-hour in the late innings, bro.
As a rookie?
As a rookie.
Damn.
Yeah. Like the Cubs thought that they were going to show him up, right? Because the Pirates went up to Chicago and so one of the marquees said the kid is about to get taken to school today, right? Talking about Skeens.
Yeah.
He went out and threw 6 innings of shutout ball.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, damn.
It's
And
like
he's flirted with a no-hitter into the 7th inning twice already this year.
yeah. It was like one of those inner city schools that you don't really get good grades in. It's poorly funded.
So I was looking through not a lot of NFL news. Hard Knocks this year is going to be featuring 2 AFC North teams. Who cares? It's AFC North.
Right.
Which 2 shitty NFC North teams are they going to pick? If you had to guess, they haven't announced
let me look here. We are looking at well, let me see here. It will the new episodes will feature Ravens, Bengals, Browns, and the Steelers.
Oh my God. Oh, wow.
All right. So for the first time ever, HBO and NFL films will follow all 4 teams in the AFC North. Because for the first time, so they were the first, they were last year, the AFC North was the first division to finish with nothing but winning records. So I'm still reserving the right to call that a trash division.
Still,
yes,
the difference a year makes.
Yeah. Right now, game 5 of the NBA Finals. Dallas is trailing 31-43 with 7:23 left in the half. I would like to see this go at least 6 games. Luka's got a lot to learn. Yeah, I mean, if the season ends for the NBA tonight, Luka needs to look back and go, okay, we got to come back. We got to run this back next year. I think the Celtics are too strong. They're my varsity team anyway. So, I mean, either way, I was going to be happy. I would have liked to seen this gone 6 games, but I mean, unless the Maverick bench catches fire, I see him closing it out at home tonight.
100%.
The Celtic faithful are going to pour out on a Causeway Street and lose their fucking minds, and they're going to have a duck pope parade next week or by the end of the week. Pure, plain and simple. In the NHL, do what?
Oh, sorry, Waltham. My brother-in-law lives there in Waltham.
Oh yeah, there you go. Game 5 of the Stanley Cup final is going to be tomorrow night at 7:00 Central Time, 8 Eastern. The problem with the Oilers is that during their Stanley Cup final run, the girl who flashed her tits at everybody has not been to a single game.
Facts.
Hey, back. Bring her back.
Yeah, that's
that's
what we
kinda chirping.
need.
That's the kind of chirping that we could all get behind. Or in
Yeah,
front.
I mean exactly. But yeah.
She might be the only thing that stops an invasion of Canada by the U.S. and her beautiful breasts. Just saying.
I
We
can
can take them.
She got on Twitter. Twitter did their thing and they found her. They identified her. And she was like she deleted a lot of her. I mean, she deleted almost all of her socials. I think she forgot about her Twitter account.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But yeah, so I've got Colin making his way downstairs. He is here. He just and then here he comes. Let me get his
Oh, we get live in studio?
What?
We get live in
What?
studio. Yeah, for the next couple of weeks, man. Yeah.
Ooh, there we go. Oh, that's right. It is summer vacation.
It is summer
It
vacation.
is summer vacation.
You go, good
It's
sir.
been an eventful one, and I love it, love it, love it.
Hey, hi there.
Already.
Hello.
Hello, Colin.
You know, considering the fact that you're on camera, you're in the studio, you show a little bit more enthusiasm. I'll take that.
You
Okay,
gave him
yes.
the purple headphones.
Listen, false motivation is better than no motivation.
Yeah, it's all smoke and mirrors, you know. So I mean,
I believe that was actually a famous quote by the French army.
no. Well, it might have been, but the one person from my history, from my personal history, was my my former platoon sergeant. At the time, it was Staff Sergeant Kinder with the 1st Platoon Delta Company, 2nd 327. I'm trying to remember. We were either out in the field or it was during our 25 mile, which ended up being a 27-mile road march. He's sitting there. I mean, people are just grumbling. He's like, false motivation is better than no motivation at all. Oh, we're like, oh, like Chris, you can appreciate that because you never go full hua, right?
Oh, good Lord, no.
Never go full hua, right? But it's always like ahu, you know. Now, Max, the word hua is a multi-purpose word. It has several different connotations. Depending on your inflection, is a dead giveaway as to what your intent is. It could either mean, yeah, I'm all for this, or how about you just go fuck yourself, platoons aren't, you know.
It's like, dude.
It's like, yeah, I mean, it's like
all
the word
it's all in the inflection.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about the inflection. But are you ready? Do you have your material? Little technical note. The picture that you're seeing is a little bit better this week because I got my family on board. We went to T-Mobile to try to upgrade our phones. And T-Mobile, bless their heart, you'd think that they'd want to keep their business with the way things are going these days. We walk in and they're like, oh, well, you've only got a certain amount of credit to play with. It's like, what? Well, yeah, you only have $1,200 to play with for upgrades. I'm like, huh? You want us to stay here, right? Like, you know, they keep moving the goalposts as far as like what it takes to upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, how much is it going to cost to upgrade one phone? Oh, it's going to cost a little over $500 out the door today. I'm like, fuck you. We went to AT&T, right? Ran my credit with the with the veteran discount, which is amazing, by the way, 25%.
Oh wow,
freaking yeah. Wow. I got seven lines, actually 8 lines, right? Everybody got into iPhone 15s. I've got the Pro Max, right? Freaking love this phone. My wife and I both upgraded our watches to the SE Generation 2 watch, right? And I got an iPad with a data line on it. Out the door for $1,030.
Oh wow. Damn.
All brand new devices out the door.
So I
And
go,
no-
and upgrade. I
Yeah.
go and get my Cricket special, and I'm out the door for like $250.
But that's what I appreciate about you,
Cricket's good enough for me.
right? But you know, and so the manager of the AT&T store here in Lake Jackson, Phoenix, amazing guy, right? Was talking to him about the show and everything like that. Gave him our website, showed him our merch store. You know, just doing my due diligence and helping to pimp the show out there. Sold me on switching over my internet provider. So down here, I've had Xfinity for a couple of years now, right? Down here, everybody pays for the gig service, but we don't get gig service. We get about half the speeds that we're paying for because we're an outlining area, whereas Houston gets the full kit and caboodle, right? I have fiber optic internet in my house now.
Nah, nice.
I get a full gig, right? On any kind of given day, I could run a speed test here at the house. Dude, my upload and download are pretty symmetrical. It's running right about anywhere from 850 to 926. I have a ping rate of 9 milliseconds.
Isn't it gorgeous?
And I cut my bill in half.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah,
Shit,
I'm
that's
just
a
not thinking going. I'm like, what? Yeah, okay.
Why are we not
Really, the only real reason why I was so adamant about staying with T-Mobile was because they gave you MLB Premium free every year. Like, fuck, I'll pay the $160 next year. I don't care.
Right.
I could really care less.
I'd be worth it for all the savings. Let's say, and then you're still better off than you were.
Yeah, I mean, my internet and cable bill through Xfinity was like $240 a month. I've kept the cable through Xfinity, and I've got internet through AT&T. I mean, right now, my combined bill is like $170.
So I went with Google Fiber. I pay $70 a month for the gig.
Yeah, it's so nice here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, I'm sitting there and I'm downloading updates on my Xbox, and I'm sitting there going, I'm like, oh my God, I don't have to wait for anything. It's so good.
You have it plugged directly?
Yeah, because I got the extent. I've got the modem is actually here in the office, and I've got extenders throughout I've got 2 extenders here in the house. I'm thinking I'm going to pick up a third, just to, you know, you can never have too many,
just
right?
to beef it up, yeah.
But the extender that's in the living room's got 2 hardwire ports for Ethernet cables. I plug the switch dock and my Xbox into it.
Nice.
And I'm like, holy crap. I ran a speed test on my Xbox. I'm sitting there like 926 megs a second. I'm like, oh my God.
Download everything.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. It's a family show. Oh my God. There's kids around.
There's children here. For God's sakes.
Give him the old dick twist. All right. So without further ado, live, not from New York, but from the coast of Texas, it's Joke Time with Colin. Here we are, rising from the smoke and haze of desolation. It's much too foggy, but it's a Ronin, bent on wrongdoing that which has been said right, but here for your ears and your eyes even to feast upon. I mean, it's somebody's genetic code, but ladies, gentlemen, angry faithful, all ages, it's that time again for Joke Time with Colin.
What does a lesbian have in common with a mechanic? Snap-on tools.
That's a good one.
They'll fuck you.
No.
No?
No.
Why?
No.
No,
Okay,
if
Max.
Max says it's okay.
Max.
Do it. Do it. Let him have it. Brrr. I don't even know what it is. I love it already.
Full send.
Okay, you asked for this. Go for it. Send it. Fire for
Go
effect.
ahead. Let's hear the
What do
Jew anti-Semitic stuff. I know that's what it is.
What did the Jews say during the summer?
Ah.
It's hotter than an oven out here. I should
Oh.
know.
God.
You
Oh,
see? Yeah, I knew it was going to be a Jew thing. I already knew it. That was me using my.
But that is
judgment.
why we love you, dude. We love having you here, and we're like, okay, we have that representation, but we know that there are certain. It's the Seinfeld rule, right? Only Jews get to make Jew jokes, and I'm like, dude, yeah. At least we thought
You
to
know,
ask.
and I appreciate that. I really do. A lot of people, there are oversensitive Jews. Me, I'm not one of those guys. But at the same time, we're also learning a little bit of history through comedy, is the way that I look at it.
that's true.
Yeah.
So, no,
Is that
if
it?
anybody takes offense to it, there's no offense to be made. It's not a knock against Jews.
Dude, they've run dry.
No, they haven't.
Yes, they have.
Surely they have not.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No. This aggression will not stand.
Dude, I've run it dry.
He claims that the Helen Keller well has dried up.
Wow.
I doubt that.
On that one.
You've done that one, okay.
Shit, maybe it has.
Wait a minute. No.
He did have a really good run there for a while.
Can you imagine if Helen Keller and Stephen Hawking like hooked up when they were still alive, if that were possible? And they hooked up and they got all shit hammered drunk.
Yeah, but you went
Fucked
to
and made
a
a baby.
wedding.
Can you imagine what that baby would look like?
Okay. Here's the thing. Okay. It does not matter where you get the ammo as long as you're able to draw it, send it. Chamber, lock and load, pull the fucking trigger, right? Am I wrong?
Hey,
Yeah.
scorched
I mean,
earth,
as long as it's not
motherfucker.
dirty-
Scorched
As long
earth.
as it's not dirty Russian ammo, I don't care. Right?
That's still
They
horseshit.
will sell Tula ammo again. It will come back, and we will be able to
it's still
afford.
out there, sir. It's still out there. Yeah. So
You can
but
definitely find it.
Not here in
we are-
conservative
we are in
Kansas.
agreement.
It isn't.
Maybe
we
not
are
in
in agreement, right?
more
We are in
reputable-
agreement that as long as there's no squibs in the batch, that any ammo is good ammo, right?
Gets job done.
Okay.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Okay.
Why did Helen Keller's last relationship not work? Her boyfriend complained about her never listening to his problems.
oh my god.
It's like you don't even care about me.
I found one that I got a reaction out of Colin on. Yes, this one's gonna be good. Wow, go for it, dude.
And to all our deaf listeners using TTY, I hope you find this as amusing as we do.
See, the problem is you said listening, not reading.
Just.
Blind people can't read unless it's Braille, bro.
Why does
Facts.
Helen Keller wear tight jeans? So people can read her lips.
I knew it.
Does it also reveal her spirit animal?
oh man.
Oh, shit.
I don't get that one.
Okay, what hold on. Hold on. Oh my god. Okay.
Go for it. Okay, you know how to pronounce that though?
Yeah,
It's an actual store.
oh, really?
Yeah, it is. It's an actual store. Okay, go for it.
Where is Helen Keller's favorite convenience store? Wawa.
Oh
Oh my god!
She's coming for us.
Do you want me to tell that one?
Although
Okay,
she did fly a plane.
Well, no, but just here.
What's Helen Keller's favorite movie? Around the Block in 80 Days. I like Around the World in 80 Days.
Oh,
Oh man.
I'm under it.
There's cold beer in hell. I don't drink, but
I sure hope so, because that's where we're going.
Helen Keller was a psychic. She called it a fourth sense.
not to be confused with foreskin, which is different.
That's where the tight pants come in.
Right. But that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Bum, bum, bum. I feel like we're corrupting Colin and we don't know that we're doing it, but we know we're doing it, and he loves it.
Okay.
Why was Helen Keller late for school? She got a DUI.
I was gonna be like, if she couldn't hear the alarm clock.
Or was it because she was blind? It's because she was a woman.
Oh,
Bro.
oh. That's
Nah. Oh, that shit's funny. I don't care who you are. Oh, fuck, I love it.
good. Okay.
How did you get Helen Keller to keep a secret? You break her fingers.
Damn, you just put mittens on her. Shit.
Well, that's why she didn't scream when she fell off a cliff, because she was wearing mittens.
It wouldn't completely cancel it out. Just a little muffle.
Oh. Oh, did you hear him?
He said it wouldn't completely silence her. It would be more like a muffle.
It's a suppressor.
Yeah. Trust
Small sounds.
Oh, what did Helen Keller do when she fell down the well? She screamed and screamed until her hands turned blue.
Hold a joke like that.
Oh my God. Okay. Oh. And just like that, he's gone without regard or care for your moral well-being. You, unfortunately,
Tell it after the outro.
have been witness to yet
You save that one for next
another
week.
traumatic episode of this guy's genetic code
Oh my God.
assaulting your soul without consent. It's so violent. I just don't know what to do. But, ladies, gentlemen, again, angry faithful of all ages, this was joke time with Colin.
You going back upstairs?
Yeah. I'm showing them. I showed them a show.
Yep. I figured as much. Okay.
I was sitting on my knee.
Put the chair back. Holy crap. So I managed to finish a master grade Gundam model last week or week before. No. Don't. No, just go. And then for Father's Day, Colin and Reagan got me another master grade Gundam. So that's going to take me another 3 days to build. Yeah. I'm not done with the first one because I still got to put all the stickers and markings on it.
Mm.
Bro. Like close to 300 pieces.
Oh God.
And it was fun.
And
But
you
my
say
eye
about
hurt. It took me 3 days because I had to take breaks because I've got a lamp with a magnifying glass on it that I have to use for, like, you know, painting the small details or whatever. Some of the parts were that damn small.
Mm.
but you enjoy doing it.
Oh, I do. I really do. But let me see here. So they held an inaugural race, or inaugural cup race at Iowa Speedway yesterday. The defending points champion Ryan Blaney finally punched his ticket for the postseason, and he picked up his first win of the year yesterday. Told you Ford's going to start turning the corner, and they're going to come in bunches. But Motorsports is not done winning by any stretch of the imagination. Kyle Larson won the week before. As soon as they reinstated his playoff status, he went out and picked up a win at Sonoma, right? Which I know that Max, you and David did your due diligence and you covered NASCAR last week. Okay, thank you, because I was about to fire both of you.
I thought
Like you had one job.
one job. At least
I
we
mean,
got the winners right.
I popped in last week while I'm sitting in Willie G's, having dinner with my wife, just to troll you guys a little bit in the chat. And yeah, I mean, you were talking about Caitlin Clark, and here's my take on Caitlin Clark. She's going to go through her knocks as a rookie, but all these other women, Charles Barkley said it best. They some petty bitches, man. They petty.
Mm-hmm.
Like they want to bitch and complain because their pay is not where they think it should be. But when they get a class of rookies come in and they've got the number 1 overall draft pick in Caitlin Clark out there setting, on pace to set scoring records in her rookie year, and they're out there bitching about it, they're like, oh, she must have some kind of special whistle. And they're out there committing flagrant fouls. The attendance so far this season for the WNBA has been more than the last 4 seasons combined. Their jersey sales are they're off the charts. Their TV ratings are triple what they have been over the last 2 or 3 seasons. And do I think that she deserved the snub for the Olympics? Yes. Why? Because it's not about whether or not it's not about name recognition. Okay. You've got veterans, and she needs to establish herself, in the WNBA. She can play in the next Olympics. Fine. That's great. I'm not asking. I don't think that the WNBA needs to go out and like treat her with kid gloves.
No, she's
But
a big girl.
As far as these flagrant fouls are concerned, they definitely, and I mean definitely need to start holding some of these other players to an account, because they are petty. Just, what are you out there trying to prove? I mean, really, are you just pissed off because
a straight white girl is out there doing it the way that you always wished and hoped that you could.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I mean, you look at the fanfare, and just the media exposure that Caitlin Clark got at her her introductory press conference for the Indiana Fever versus Angel Reese for Chicago. Like, she walked into a damn empty ass gym. There were 4 reporters sitting in some like classroom chairs, and they had one mic on a podium for her.
Wow.
Yeah,
You know.
Angel Reese isn't the draw for the WNBA. And then to add what you were speaking to, Johnny, in regards to revenue, I was reading an article earlier. Though the WNBA has never actually turned a profit, they are going to still lose money, but not as much. They're only going to lose
Yeah,
$50
the
million this
NBA
season.
has been floating the the shortages for the WNBA for like the last 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've been
And
subsidized.
yeah, they've been subsidizing it. Now, being that, having said that, you get 2-3 consecutive seasons, good rookie classes coming out, Caitlin Clark doing her thing, these other women out there. And I don't mean to turn off our female audience by referring to some of these. When I said they're being petty bitches, that was meant to be a derogatory term, but that was not supposed to be an all-encompassing term as it relates to the females, female gender.
It's not in
Okay.
general. It's these specific.
It's not a generalization of females as a whole.
Right.
And I would hope that our female listening audience is intelligent enough to make that that dissertation. But that being said, just seeing the amount of butt hurt. I mean, as it is, it's bad enough that they've got, Brittany Griner out there masquerading as a female playing in the WNBA. I mean, there's video footage out there of her topless out by her backyard pool, and they're not being censored. I'm sorry, there's no mastectomy scars. That's a dude. There's a reason why the Russians put her in the male prison.
Yep.
The Merchant of Death.
I'm just
They
WNBA.
traded the Merchant of Death.
Yeah. Yeah.
And left the Marine, those pieces of shit.
You traded the guy that Nicolas Cage portrayed in his movie for that.
You cannot make that up.
You can't. You can't write that and make it believable. Eventually when Hollywood pulls its head out of its fourth point of contact, it's going to look back and they're going to be like, oh, we supported a guy that legit shit his pants on a stage for a D-Day ceremony.
Mm-hmm. Like, you can't call it anything else.
Like the French president was standing there and he smelt it, right? You saw his wife. She put her hand up to her nose. She smelt it first. Then the French president smelled it and nobody did anything. To their credit, they held their composure, but they're in there. This motherfucker just shit himself.
So he's the fucking president. He just shit himself on camera.
Yeah. On camera.
The entire world.
Yeah.
Perfectly normal.
And he's running again.
Yeah. But hey, this is not a political show. But yeah, NASCAR, Ryan Blaney, he picked up the win this week. The standings currently, Chase Elliott, who finished second, or actually he finished third in that race. He took over the points lead. Kyle Larson is in second. Denny Hamlin is in third. William Byron in fourth. Martin Truex Jr. rounds out the top 5. Martin Truex Jr. announced his retirement at the end of the season. He will no longer drive full-time in Cup. And I say congratulations, Martin. I was following his career since he was driving for Junior Motorsports back in the Nationwide days. Driving for, I think it was Furniture Row Motorsports or Front Row Motorsports when they were still running their one-car operation out of Denver. dude's a solid guy. I mean, from a guy, you know, from a dude for a dude from New Jersey, he can wheel a car. Absolutely. Kyle Busch is not having the season that he was expecting to have. There's a lot of chatter on Twitter that are like, yeah, this was a mistake that we didn't see coming. Kyle Busch was supposed to be the answer for Richard Childress Racing to bring them back to prominence. And it has just not come to fruition. I think he's picked up 1, maybe 2 wins for RCR since jumping in the seat of that 8 car. I would like to see Kyle Busch win again. I really would. I just don't think it's going to be in that 8 car. I honestly don't. And with Stewart-Haas Racing announcing that it's closing its doors at the end of the season, you're going to have people like Noah Gragson, Chase Briscoe, Josh Berry. I mean, they're all auditioning for jobs right now. They really are. And these are solid young gun drivers. I mean, they're going to be the next generation of talent that picks up wins and championships. But they're going to have to do it with another team. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. But next week, it is the USA Today 301 from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. That is going to be on Sunday, June 23rd. That is going to be a 1:30 Central start time. It's going to be on the USA Network. It's also going to be on PRN, which is the Performance Racing Network, or your Sirius XM Channel 90, or your Sirius XM app. Definitely check that out. New Hampshire's a cool little short track. I mean, the big draw is going to be what happens on the track, but it's going to be the things that are offered to the fans, the midways, the concerts and things like that. They've got a ton of events. I mean, just the area around New Hampshire Motor Speedway, they bank on this race every year, and they make a killing from it. So, I mean, that's pretty exciting. And then after that, everybody is going to turn their attentions toward Music City. It's going to be the Nashville Super Speedway race. And then on July 7th, it's going to be the Chicago Street Race, the second Chicago Street Race. Last year's was a pretty surprising success. I halfway expected half the teams to have to find a way to hitch a ride back to North Carolina, because I thought for sure that either somebody was going to end up shot or a team hauler was going to get stolen during the race. I mean, it's Chicago. You go for the pizza, you stay because you got shot, right?
That's true.
But after that, after Chicago Street Race is going to be on the 14th of July. It is going to be the Tricky Triangle. It's going to be Pocono Raceway. So that's always a fun race to watch. Nerd news, though. Oh my God, did you guys watch the Xbox Direct, the Microsoft Direct showcase?
Pieces of it. I went through and kind of cherry picked some of the stuff.
The big game that I'm looking forward to, Perfect Dark. If you have not seen if you have not seen the trailer for the Perfect Dark game, definitely check it out, bro. Yeah. The Indiana Jones game looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Doom Dark Ages. I'm not a Doom guy.
This one looks pretty good.
That one looks amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I foresee
Chainsaw Shield.
Yeah, the Chainsaw Shield. But that particular game, that particular title, with as fast as you have to mash the buttons in Doom, just period. People's Xboxes are going to melt down, dude.
You're right.
Assassin's Creed Shadows. We are finally getting a feudal Japan Assassin's Creed in November. And the best part is, it's going to be day one available on Game Pass.
It is, and I might try it out just because I'm a massive fan of the Assassin's Creed series as a whole.
I am too. Yeah, I mean, in fact, I actually pre-ordered it, but then when I realized, because I pre-ordered it before the Direct, and after Direct announced that all the games that they showcased there, they were going to be on Game Pass day one.
Yeah, almost all of them.
I went ahead and canceled my pre-order, saved myself $70.
There you go. Nice.
I think what I'm going to end up doing though is I'm going to go get one of those expansion cards for my Xbox, just to give me
Okay.
another terabyte of internal storage. I mean, I've got, I think it's like 4 terabytes of storage total. I got a 3 terabyte hard drive external, plus the 1 terabyte on the internal. And I'm like, man, some of these games you have to have just a ton of space. And like Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Yeah, I already
If
installed.
you don't have any Call of Duty on your console, they were like prepare for 300 gigs. And I'm like, bro, I mean, I get that is the only game that they want you to play by eating up all your space, but I'm like, I don't care about playing Warzone. I don't give a fuck about the zombies.
I
don't.
literally I pre-downloaded it because it's already on the store there, the
Mhm.
and I will play the campaign and then immediately uninstall it. That is the only thing that I care about. Is I just want to play through the campaign. 'Cause
Yeah,
it looks
Colin's big thing that he's looking
That's
forward
not
to on that is like, you know how when you're in the prone and you have to look around, you have to like do this weird kind of 360.
yeah,
He said when you're in the prone and you want to look behind you, your character actually rolls over on their back now.
that's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool. But yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I want this single player campaign to be good. I do. I want it to be good. I want it to be successful. I want the writing to be there. You know, I don't want it to be broken. I mean, it better not be, like 100+ gig game, and then they expect us to patch it with 100 gig patch on day one.
Right.
I mean, because really, this is going to be.
Every time.
It's actually, what is it? The first Call of Duty game that's been released since Microsoft bought Activision, right? Yeah,
I
this would
think
not
so.
be a good look. Yeah, this wouldn't be a good look. I mean, they need to come out of the gates with a game that is finished, or at the very least finished and just needs a little polishing. And by a little polishing, I'm talking maybe like a 4 or 5 gig update at best.
Mhm.
I mean, they've obviously had the time to put together the presser, to airbrush the cut scenes, things like that, to put out a really amazing trailer, to do
Yeah,
the
all
marketing
the
campaign.
pre-rendered bullshit and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. But man, I just Microsoft needs this to be a success out of the gate. And you can almost guarantee that Sony is going to be just licking their chops looking for something to bust their balls about. And I mean, you want that merger, that acquisition to fall flat on its face? Release a game that's broken and needs 100 gigs on day one.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the fans are so tired of that bullshit.
Yeah,
Especially when you have a pre-download like this, and then
yeah, exactly.
you have another 100 gigs that you're gonna have to put up. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. I don't know, man. And Fallout is supposed to be getting some new, or Fallout 76, or there's supposed to be some new Fallout DLC. It's supposed to be coming out
For 76,
So, yeah, for 76. So I don't care about that because I'm not playing 76. Could really care less. I bought it when it launched. It was an absolute dumpster fire, and I never looked back.
Apparently, it has gotten a lot better.
Be that as it may,
I don't know because I don't play on it, and I just
with the schedule, with the schedule of games to be released over the next 6 to 8 months, I really don't have the time, energy, or the desire to pour myself into the 76 servers.
Right.
I just don't. I mean, to me, it was broken when they released it. And when they did try to make a patch for it, it kind of came across as like Rust before Rust was a thing.
Right.
You build this nice little base, and you're kind of sitting there just chilling, and hey, I gotta sleep because shit, I gotta get up, go to work in the morning, kind of thing. And you come back, log back in, and your little base of operations, your little town has been ransacked by people that were online playing all night. I'm just, and that's why I don't want to play games like Rust. I tried it. It was fun while I was on it.
It's such
But-
there's so much in it to really get to that level.
Yeah.
You just it's way too much of an investment to have to do. It becomes
Yeah,
a job all by itself. Like those kind of games are made for streamers. Full
Yeah,
time.
exactly. Yeah.
They're the
So
ones that have the resources and the ability to really put that time in to get to that level.
yeah. End of the 8th inning. It is still 5-0 A&M over Kentucky. So we got 1 inning to go. But yeah, I mean, if your job was to stream, that was your job. That was your revenue. I mean,
Yeah.
fine. Absolutely. But I don't know. Wells Fargo, little nerd news, financial news. Wells Fargo is set to lay off a lot of people from their
Yep.
work from home programs because they found out that they were using those mouse manipulators, those mouse jigglers, to make
Mhm.
it look like they were working from home.
You know what I bet they did wrong? They plugged them in to the computer and IT could see those.
Yeah,
If
probably.
you're going to use a mouse jiggler like that, plug it in on its own plug that's not connected to the computer. That way
Yeah.
they can't read that you actually have.
Yeah.
IT will look in and be like, "Oh, what's this device that's plugged in?" And then they find
Yeah.
out what it is, and it's like, yeah, you're screwed.
And let's uninstall that real quick. Let's
Right. Plug and play is not just our
they
friend.
pull it down to the task manager and they go, or the device manager, and they're like, eject. And all of a sudden,
Hey, I was using that.
within 30 seconds, their screen goes to sleep, goes to standby. That's what I thought. And then the person comes home. Then the person comes home from like
Whatever. they were
having lunch with their their boyfriend or whatever. Try to get the house cleaned up and make it look like they've been home all day before their spouse gets home. And oh shit, my computer went to sleep. Oh crap.
Oh, that happened. Well,
They wake their computer up with a nice little window that's stuck there that says, Zoom meeting tomorrow morning at 8:00.
call me. Fuck. Well, shit.
Not again.
Yeah, I'm just like, I got no love lost with Wells Fargo though. I mean,
Same. To be honest with you, I don't really care.
yeah,
Not to be
but okay, so
thinking about it.
Uh,
But
so Chris, you've been to my house and you know that I'm in an HOA, right?
right.
All right, so you remember my wrought iron fence that I've got in the backyard?
I do.
Okay, so I bought one of those vinyl screens that you can hang on a fence, right?
Yeah.
So it kind of blocks out. You can't see through it, but air and water can pass through it, and it's not technically a fixture because you can remove it.
Yeah.
So I submitted an app. I went to an HOA meeting and I was talking to one of the some of the HOA people that are on the board, explaining what it was that I wanted to do. Right. The main purpose was to keep my dog Harry from squeezing his skinny ass through the fence.
Right.
They eventually got back to me and were like, "Yeah, this is approved. You don't have to pay a deposit to do anything." So I went on Amazon and I ordered a 116-foot long piece of this. and I went down to Lowe's, got some self-tapping screws and some washers, and I hung it on my fence, right?
Yeah.
Semi-permanently, right?
Semi-
Within the first 36 hours of having that up. I hadn't even had it up completely. So from the time I started hanging it to the time when 36 hours, I had several cars stop, take pictures, and even had one person who was walking on that sidewalk behind my house
Yeah.
stop and take video of my vinyl screen.
Nice.
So I'm standing out there mowing my grass, and this dude is taking video.
Which
I
honestly, let's be careful of doing that in Texas.
Yeah,
Let's
I
be
waved
very
at him. I was like, "Hey, hi, how you doing?" And I just stood back, took a picture with my phone, took a panoramic of the screen, and posted it on my community's Facebook page. And like everybody's like, "Oh, that's such a great idea. That looks so good." And I was talking to my neighbor who lives across the street today because he was out and about in his yard. He's like, "Man, your yard's starting to look really good." And we had like the dad talks where we're talking about what we're doing with our yards and fertilizer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's like, "Man, this thing looks really good." I told him, I said, people taking pictures and video of it. And he's like, "Fuck them." I was like, "Right." So yeah, I thought it was hilarious. I'm sitting there. I put the post out there because I'm like, for those out there that love to stir the pot, I'm putting this out here and stating I've gotten permission from the HOA. So before you raise any alarms, do your homework, kind of a deal.
Right.
All the responses that I got on that post were like overwhelmingly positive, including one person that's moving next week down here from Michigan. And I'm like, they messaged me and they were like, "Dude, you've got great timing because we got a tropical storm coming this week." Like, so like,
Well,
hopefully it's not wet when you get down here. You're moving down here from Michigan? Okay. But
you might want to hold off for a little while.
the Aggies are now 3 outs away from putting Kentucky away. I think this far into the World Series, I think it's a single elimination now, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it is. Let's see if they've done what they're supposed to for the brackets here. Let me see here. Bracket 1, bracket 2. Well, Kentucky and A&M both have no losses, so Kentucky's about to pick up their loss. And it might be single elimination. No, it'll I think it's going to be double elimination because I think there's going to be a losers bracket, I believe. So here's what, and this is going to be beautiful, right? So A&M wins tonight. The next game that they play to advance to the final is going to be against the Florida team that they've already beaten.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a single elimination at this point. I think the first round is going to be like, okay, you can still go. And yes, Bell, thank you for bringing that up. The Red Sox picked up the win tonight, 7-3. So again, we're not saying one has to have anything to do with the other. But the new hat is still working. It's working. It's doing something, people. Just kind of putting it out there. I mean, if a simple fedora can do a lot for a modest platypus, a new ball cap can do a lot for a ball team.
Exactly.
Just kind of saying. Let me see here. Oh, and I am going to put my daughter on the spot. I may have to do like a short little special episode. I'll work out the logistics with David because my daughter, our super fan, will be here July 15th through the 19th.
Nice. There you go.
Hopefully, we won't be squirreled away in the house because we've got a hurricane bearing down on us. Because she made the comment. She goes, "I would like to see the ocean. When it's not raining?" I was like, "Oh yeah, definitely."
Just say,
So
stick around long enough, you may get a real close look at it.
right. I told Mindy, I said tomorrow though, before everything starts blowing in real heavy, because they're talking about like 15-foot waves
Oh,
being a possibility. And I'm like, I want to go down to the shore. I want to go down to the beach and I want to see the surge coming in.
right.
You know, I mean, would I love to drive an hour out of my way to go to the seawall in Galveston and watch that crap crash in like I'm Jim Cantori from the Weather Channel? Oh, absolutely.
There's a certain appeal to it.
But I'm married and I've got kids now, and there's certain responsibilities that I have to maintain, like, I don't know, staying alive.
Yeah. Take all
I
the
just
fun out of everything.
never get to do nothing. God. Yeah, or cold, right? She's like raining or cold. Because it was like November, I think it was, when you were down here last, because you came down for my birthday like last year or year before last. I was like, well, let's go to the ocean. And it was raining. It was that cold spit, right? That cold spitting rain. It wasn't like a drencher, right? But it was that like windy, and it was spitting that the cold rain. And it was definitely like the surf. You could tell the surf was reacting to the weather, because like the waves were pretty bad. I mean, the swells were good, right? It was the kind of swells that you were like, you'd be like, oh, there's Patrick Swayze out there about to like cancel his subscription to life on a wave kind of thing. Well, Keanu Reeves is standing out there on the beach throwing his FBI badge out into the surf, It's one of those deals. But you've never just shot your gun up in the air and gone, oh, no, I haven't shot my gun up in the air and gone, oh.
Great movie.
What's wrong with him? Nothing. He's just fuck ugly. So I exposed the 3 that we've got living here full time to Flash Gordon last week. Like it was like a week and a half ago. It was trying to think. It was like a Saturday, I think it was, and I had all the boys downstairs, and I'm like, turn off your devices. We're watching a movie. Because just for whatever reason, the Queen soundtrack, which is still hands down for me, one of the best movie soundtracks ever, right?
Flash.
You hear that? Dun, 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 flash. Right? Freddie Mercury doing his deal, right? And I'm like, this movie, it's campy. It just horrible visual effects, right? Not special effects, but visual effects.
Can't even call them special.
Yeah,
well, a special if you're using
you could call them special. They're like special
like
ed, right?
expensive kind of special.
Yeah. I mean, when you got Timothy Dalton and Max Sydow, come on. And those are your draws. Ooh, I'm like, okay. But I'm like, all right, we're gonna watch this movie. And I forced the boys. I mean, Jake had already seen it. He'd seen it plenty of times. He knows who Sam Jones is. And I'm like, all right. In my head, I keep hearing Ted, but John, Sam fucking Jones is here. You got to get here. Holy shit. That's Ted, everybody. But yeah, anyways, I digress. But yeah, so I made the boys sit down and watch Flash Gordon a couple weeks ago, and yeah, the education of less than stellar movies from the 80s is going to continue to be a thing. Here's the thing I find with today's generation, and this is going to make me sound like all Clint Eastwood, Gran Torino, get off my lawn kind of thing. But with the attention span that kids have these days, it's like, listen here. I've got an app on my phone that will let me neuter the internet on all of your devices if I choose. You know, like we gonna make men out of you, you know, kind of a deal.
It's true.
I mean, the movies these days are great. Fine, you got, you know, Django Unchained, you got Interstellar,
Some of them.
Inglourious Bastards, Saving Private Ryan. I mean, great movies. 1917, great movie, right? But it's the movies from the 80s, like The Last Starfighter, with that campy CGI, right? Early CGI. You know, or I mean,
Starfighter.
dude,
Classic.
if I could find
So
a model,
awful.
if I could find a
So
model kit of the Gunstar, I would buy it in a heartbeat. Absolutely. As it is right now, they're only available in STL files, and you can 3D print them. And I'm like, oh, dude, I don't. I want to invest in a 3D printer, but I want to get this enterprise build off the ground first.
I could absolutely see you could rocket a 3D printer. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I would get into a lot of trouble with it though.
You would.
Like, oh, that part sucks. I'm going to redo this and I'm going to print it out and I'm going to make it look great. I mean, because if you go out there, those STL files, dude, a lot of times, I mean, you just pay like a meager fee to the guy that created the file just for his time and effort. I mean, he'll fucking send it to you. I'm like, all right, cool. What I want to do though is I want to get a color laser jet printer so I can start printing out my own decals, like, you know, for like Aztecing and stuff like that.
Right.
Now, as far as the Aztecing, there's two different camps that you're talking about. Now, Max, when we talk about Aztecing, we're talking about like with Star Destroyers, Imperial Star Destroyers, you get the little greebles that are all over the hull to kind of give it a sense of scale.
Mhm.
With things like Federation starships from Star Trek, they've got, it looks like paneling, like inconsistencies with metallurgy, right? Metal production. It kind of gives it a sense of scale. You've got a lot of people that are out there. Well, I say a lot. You got a very small minority of people that are out there that are like, well, Aztecing is just dumb because, you know, you shouldn't have to represent scale on something that's already to scale. It's like, how about you just shut up and just go away? But you're entitled to your opinion and it's wrong, but you're entitled to it. But there's two different ways to apply these Aztecing, details to a model. You got a lot of guys that just, they'll do decals, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just for me, I find that trying to Aztec something, you have to cover the entire model with decals before you put the registry markings on the hull, right? And it's a lot of painstaking work. And if you rip a decal, you're screwed, right? Then you get the guys that do the stencils, right? They get the Aztecing masks from a couple of different websites. There's guys that are out there that actually do their own stencils. I kind of want to do that. I bought some Tamiya masking sheets, right? Tamiya's that Japanese model company, right? They make some very low tack masking tapes for models. I've got a 3mm wide, a couple of 3mm wide rolls of masking tape from Tamiya. I bought some masking sheets from Tamiya that are about like that, almost 8x11. And my sister-in-law's got a Cricut that she doesn't use anymore. And I'm like, okay, I've got the sheets and I've got the apps for it. So, I mean, all I got to do is just kind of go in and play with scale and try to get the measurements correct and, you know, get everything to size. So I can start playing around with making my own masks. And at that point, just put them in the Cricut, and it cuts it out. And then I just got to go in and weed them out and then apply them and put the paints. But with this 350 scale enterprise build that I've got on my to-do list here, the Aztecing alone, before I decal anything, is probably going to take about a month and a half by itself, because I want to do it right. I've got a 350 scale Enterprise 01, Scott Bakula's Enterprise, that I'm going to tear down and rebuild. I'm going to strip all the paint off of it. I'm going to redo it. I'm going to light that one. I'm going to put Aztecing on the panels. Just kind of really do it the way that I wish I'd have known to do it back when I built the model originally back in, I think it was like 2008, 2009. But yeah, so Polar Lights also, their company is also called Round Two. So at the WonderCon this year, which is like common convention for model builders, right? They announced that they're re-releasing a lot of kits. They're doing a 537 scale Reliant reissue. So we're talking like the Reliant's going to be about a foot and a half long, right? Once it's finished. They're also going to and this was the big thing. They're re-releasing. They're going to do a reshoot and re-release of the 350 scale Enterprise refit, which people were excited about. It's going to be the same tooling, so it's not going to be a revamped model. It's just going to be a re-release. So they're going to shoot more molds, and they're going to re-release them. So that way they're more plentiful out there in the marketplace. Will it drop the price? We'll see. Right now, they're running anywhere from $100 to $150 a piece, depending on what vendor you get them from. But the big thing that got everybody stoked was, you remember the old Disney movie, The Black Hole?
I don't.
Way back in the day.
I remember the Dark Crystal.
Okay, so
I recall that one.
There is the film came out in 1979. It's a Disney movie. It was directed by Gary Nelson, produced by Walt Disney Productions. It was really kind of a dark movie. I mean, there wasn't like the sets weren't really brilliantly lit. The storyline, you really had to pay attention to it. I mean, it was a sci-fi movie that required the audience to pay attention, right? Great movie. I used to have, like, you remember the lunch boxes, that we would have like as kids? I had a Black Hole lunchbox, right? But the big ship, the centerpiece of the movie was this long ship that just looked like a bunch of scaffolding thrown together, right? But it was a beautiful ship, beautiful model. Back when they did models, right? Back before CGI kind of became a thing, called the Cygnus. Their AMT or ERTL or ETRL, they used to have a kit of the Cygnus that was out there, right? But it was an incomplete kit. Because of licensing and things like that, they weren't able to like make an accurate mold, right? So people would buy the kits and either build the kits as is, or later on when 3D printers or resin printers became a thing, they would scan in the missing part of the ship and sell that as an aftermarket piece, right? Round Two Polar Lights announced at WonderCon that they're going to re-release the Cygnus model, but they're going to release the entire model. Like the missing part is going to be a part of this re-release kit.
Interesting.
And I want to build one so bad. And there's a guy, he's part of a lot of the modeling forums that I belong to on Facebook. The mothership from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He's got an STL file for it, including all the like little Easter egg greebles on there, like the mystery machine from Scooby-Doo, R2-D2. I mean, a lot of stuff. Like there were like little Easter egg jokes that people were throwing at Steven Spielberg back in the day. They're included on this STL file for the Close Encounters mothership, and I'm like, damn, I want that so bad. Like,
right.
But Bill Krause, his Twitter handle's at Admiral Buck. He builds all of his starships from scratch. I mean, he designs starships for use in the shows, right? Like he designed, if I'm not mistaken, he designed the Neo Constitution 2 or 3, the one that, Titan A eventually became the Enterprise G.
Mhm.
He designed that, right? He recently came out with one. It was I think it's called, it was a Typhoon class starship. It was kind of like a special project for a fan or something like that. Dude, it is a work of art. He does the lighting himself. He, he does support structures on the inside of these models. They're beautiful. If you have a chance to check them out on Twitter or even on Facebook, dude, the guy is just, to say that he is talented is putting it very mildly. I mean, it is actually a gross understatement, and it's just amazing. All right, so you remember the old Navy hats where it's like it has got the ship's silhouette on it and it's got the ship's name and their registry number?
Yeah.
Over the weekend, he I don't know where he got this hat, and I'm gonna have to find this hat because I need it in my life. It said USS Enterprise NCC 1701G, and it's got a silhouette of the Enterprise G on it. He said, "I got thanked for my service. I'm just gonna run with it."
Nice.
Like somebody looked at his hat, just didn't look at his hat closely enough, and just assumed it was a Navy ball cap. Said, "Thank you for your service." But it's funny because, like, on the dedication plaques for a lot of the starships, he's officially listed as an admiral of Starfleet. His name is on the dedication plaques.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, that I would be happy having a walk-on role as long as I'm in a Starfleet uniform. I don't have to have a line. I could be just a background character. I could even do like the bridge flop when the ship gets hit by a torpedo or a phaser blast, whatever. I'll throw myself on the floor. I just want to be a part of that universe. I really do. I don't care. Now, having said that, I know a lot of people are going to complain. They're going to be like, "Oh, Trek is Trek." And we all know, because as Star Wars fans, the Acolyte, absolute trash.
There's only one thing worse than Star Wars fans, and that's other Star Wars fans.
Yeah, for the Star Wars fans, yeah.
But
Like the reviews on the Acolyte, absolutely horrendous, dude. Like they were like,
I
after
haven't even seen it. The people that are
there's a lot
complaining the most haven't even seen a single episode.
Well, I mean, the people that have, they're like, episode 3 is completely unwatchable.
It wasn't that bad. I'm not saying it was great, but it was all right.
But getting back to my point, like, there's a new series that, instead of doing Star Trek Legacy and following Captain 7 of 9 and the adventures of the Enterprise G, they decided it'd be a great idea to do a Star Trek Starfleet Academy show based in the 32nd century. Nobody fucking cares. And it's based off of the Discovery timeline, right? Which that series just ended.
Because that was super popular.
Right. Oh, it's so popular. Oh my God.
It did wonderful.
I'm just, I don't want to be a part of that universe. But if Star Trek Legacy ever gets the green light, yeah, absolutely.
Which they teed it up so well. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't run.
Oh my God, so well. I would, even if they did like a Strange New Worlds, like, hey, you can do a cameo in Strange New Worlds. Give me one of those uniforms. Hell yeah.
Right.
I would rub it in my brother's face so hard though, because he is diehard Trekkie, right? I'd be like, I was on the Enterprise and you weren't. Like, and that's another reason why I want to get this Enterprise build going so bad, because, or I might even just take this one, right, to a comic convention where William Shatner is. I don't care how much his autographs cost. I don't care. I want Captain Kirk to autograph my Enterprise.
That'd be awesome.
Dude, can you imagine though? Like, how badass that would be. I mean, that would go from just a trinket that I've got sitting on the shelf to that is now qualified as family heirloom territory.
Right.
that would get passed down in a trust,
Yeah. That'd be in like
not a will, because people can contest a will and you can sell shit from a will. But if it's in a trust, there are stipulations. If this even remotely gets considered for sale, it is going to go into a safety deposit box and held until the generation who can properly appreciate it can take ownership.
Yep.
Hands down, 100%. People are going to be like, who the hell's William Shatner? And then they're going to look it up and they're going to be like, oh, he is the Captain Kirk. He is the James Tiberius Kirk. Oh, and my great-great-grandfather Johnny built this and got it autographed? Oh, we're keeping this. Yes, please. Oh, come on.
True.
I mean, yes, the first time I got to talk to Matt Best, I fangirled a little, and I was embarrassed about that. I would explode from sheer schoolgirl excitement and giddiness. If I don't think I would explode. I would have a very hard time trying to contain my excitement if I got to meet William Shatner.
I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, the dude's 92 years old, and it's a very finite window that we've got left with him. He is an international treasure. He is Canadian, yes, but he is an international treasure that must be protected at all costs.
He's one of the few we'll accept.
Yeah. I mean, as far as Canadians go, damn it, he's an American. Oh,
he's an acceptable.
he's an acceptable Canadian, yeah. That and Ryan Reynolds. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Maybe Wayne Gretzky. The list kind of withers out a little bit after that.
It's a little muddy.
Yeah, the waters get a little muddy. Maybe the Amell brothers, the Amell family. But guys, we've run right up to the edge of 2 hours here in about 4 seconds. So I don't know. What do you guys think? We should go ahead and land the plane, or?
Yeah,
I know that you got to throw some food down your throat, man.
Yeah, it's coming up on 9:30.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, here, it is official. Kentucky has gotten their first loss of the tournament at the hands of Texas A&M.
There you go. Late breaking.
So as we go into bracket number 2. So Kentucky and Florida play tomorrow for a chance to play against Texas A&M on June 20th. No. Yes. Actually, wait a minute. If necessary. Okay, so what is that going to be? 18. All right, so the way that this bracket looks, is that going to be... All right, so it's a double elimination. All right, so the final is a 3-game set. All right, so it's a best of 3. But Kentucky and Florida are going to play each other tomorrow at 6 o'clock Central, 7 Eastern time for a chance to go and play Texas A&M. And then the winner of that series is going to go on to play the winner of the first bracket. Tennessee advanced to the semis. They are waiting on North Carolina, who they beat yesterday. They're waiting on North Carolina and Florida State to play. Florida State was beaten by Tennessee. So, and that was a contested game. That was the final on that one back on the 14th was 11-12 Tennessee. So that was an offensive explosion right there. But I'm willing to bet, and I'm kind of leaning towards a Tennessee Texas A&M National Championship series starting on June 22nd.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, because for most of the season, Texas A&M was unanimously ranked number 1 in the nation. I mean, that was a good chunk of the season.
Right.
So we'll see. But yeah, let's see. Kind of recapping. We went over some baseball news. Laughed about the Hard Knocks season featuring the AFC North this coming season for the football news.
That's gonna be a nightmare.
It looks like Boston is going to wrap this up. It is 9:08 left in the fourth quarter, 67-88 right now in favor of the Celtics. So we may get a new champion crown tonight. It'll be the 18th banner for the Boston Celtics if they wrap this up tonight and close it out at home. Tomorrow night, we have got Game 5 of the Stanley Cups, Lord Stanley Cups final. Edmonton versus Florida. The Oilers girl needs to be in attendance. She needs to fly her ass. The team needs to put her on a charter and fly her down to Florida. I'm just kind of putting that out there. Texas A&M advanced to the semis. They are waiting on their winner from between Kentucky and Florida. Both teams whom they have beaten. So there's that. We went over some NASCAR. We spent a considerable chunk of time on some nerd news this week. I'm actually really proud of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Good job. Give everybody a hand up there. I think next week's going to be same bat time, same bat channel. We're going to be 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern time here on YouTube and on Twitter. If you're watching us on the replay, go ahead, go over to our YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification for the bell, so that way it notifies you before we go live and or when we go live. Tune in, become part of the conversation, get active in the chat. If you're listening to us on any of the podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts, definitely give us a 5-star review, even if you don't think that we deserve it. Give us a 5-star review and then just torch us verbally, or use your mastery of the English language. Just leave 5 stars. It's not a lot to ask. If anything, it'll cause people who actually read the reviews to kind of raise their eyebrow, harnessing their inner Vulcan, going, I don't understand the picture here. It's 5 stars, but it says that they're shit. Like, what's going on? So
You're welcome.
Yeah. We were treated to Colin being live in studio this week. So that's going to be a thing for the next couple of weeks. While I've got him here. I'm not going to apologize for being absent last week. Neither is Chris. Chris was due to health. He wasn't feeling good. He was sick. So, hey, it's not like we make money at this. So it's not like he had to call out. I mean, you want to hold us to that standard. Good luck.
Start paying us, and then you can hold us to that standard.
I needed to unplug. I needed to get away from the house. I needed to get away from the kids. I just needed some alone time with my wife. And
100%.
I could get all parting shot like Jerry Springer, but there's this decided lack of like incestuous midgets in the audience. So I mean, we can't really go there.
We could make that happen.
Incestuous midgets, yeah.
We could make that happen.
You should make that happen.
We'll save that for sweet.
Black gay midgets who are secret clan members and have been sleeping with their brother's mother, kind of a deal.
We got the transvestite part.
I mean, as long as we've got Steve, pulling security for us, catching chairs, I'm good. I mean, let's do it. We need to have the elderly Maury Povich come on here and just do a lie detector test. Right. Or maybe a DNA test, like, our DNA test shows that you are not the father. And then we need to have a distraught woman sitting there who has obviously been to Walmart way too many times late at night, having to drive around in her, like, wash too many times, see through moo on the hover around scooter that's got half a charge on it.
That's been on the show. It's been on the show 7 times trying to find the father. And his convinced every single time. Look at his nose.
It's gotta
Look at
be
his
him.
eyes. It's obvious.
Women, we had sex, but I did not stick it in your hoo-ha. Yes, you did. No, girl, I left a pool in your belly button.
Mm-hmm.
It was a hot, sweaty afternoon. It smelled the same.
I can find.
I was drinking, right? I left the racing jack at the garage, so I couldn't lift up that monstrous fupa.
Oh man.
Oh,
I left the jack out in the truck.
Wow. And Bell's talking about, yeah, Craigslist. Absolutely Craigslist. You know, what's left of Craigslist.
There you go.
You know, we could title one of the episodes like I impregnated my mother on Tinder. Yeah.
again.
You know, yeah, again, right? You know, and they're like dad's hiding backstage, you know, and they don't know that he knows. Yeah.
I accidentally.
Like, I understand. I know that all of those shows were scripted, right? I mean, like, but it's
100%.
funny because, like, when I used to live in Tennessee, you know, shortly after I got out, I lived in Tennessee for a while, and my first wife and I actually knew a girl who was a part of a Jerry Springer panel,
Nice.
straight as an arrow. But they offered her way too much money to act like the whitest trash on the planet.
Yep.
And like they made them sign a non-disclosure agreement. Like you couldn't talk about what you were on the show for until after it aired.
Yeah.
I was just like, what in the hell? Like, yeah, dude, okay. And you want to talk about some trash? Boy, like this girl, I think she was like, she shows up pregnant, or she's pretending to be like a month or two pregnant, and her boyfriend's on the show, and she admits that she cheated on her boyfriend with her uncle, and then the uncle comes out from backstage and starts whooping the boyfriend's ass.
It's like they just met.
Like, what? Like, oh my god.
Dirty
And then, like,
fucker.
you get paid extra if you flash, like, if a piece of your clothing comes off and like you didn't get a boob pop out where they got to blur the screen, like you get paid like $50 extra, which back then $50 was $50, right? You know, so just boy, yeah.
Good old Jerry Springer.
Yeah. Mayor of Cincinnati, dead, but mayor of Cincinnati.
Yep.
Yeah, she did take the job, Belle. She absolutely took the job. I don't know if your mom would remember it. You might have to ask her about it, but we did know we knew a girl who went on that show. I don't know. It's funny the things that we remember as adults, right? Like from way back. But we can't remember what we had for dinner last night.
No, hell no. I remember when I first got out and had just moved down here to San Antonio, and I was watching an episode of People's Court, and there was a guy from our company that was I want to say he was a scout or a mechanic. I can't remember which one, but he ended up going on the show, and I'd been out for maybe a month, and he popped
Those
on.
court cases are
Holy
real,
shit!
though.
I was like, I fucking know that dude.
Right, but those court cases are
Oh,
real.
at the time she was just like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, that dude was in my company. I know him.
Yeah, they're all civil suits, and
Yeah.
they're real.
Yeah.
Like they have to
That's
sign
great.
an agreement, a legally binding contract that if they do not agree with the outcome, they cannot have it retried in a courtroom. Like,
Yep.
yeah. One of my favorite. It wasn't People's Court. It was Judge Mills Lane.
Okay.
He was the
The
I will allow
referee.
he was a boxing ref,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you remember from Celebrity Deathmatch on
Yep.
MTV.
I
Yeah.
remember that was good.
He was
shit.
an actual judge.
Yeah.
And he had like one of his TV courtroom shows, and I was like, I freaking loved that guy because he didn't have like the tie. He had his judge gown on, right? But he had his trademark bow tie.
Yep.
and he's like the bailiff would sit there, he'd bring it up and he's sitting there looking at it and he goes, well, this is a little unorthodox, but I'm going to allow it. And he'd put it off to the side. I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
I am so on board with this guy. But yeah, it's so good. But yeah. So all right. So at the beginning of the show, I had made the comment about me, growing my hair out a little bit, right? My wife and her sister watched that show, The Chosen, right? And the guy that plays Jesus does a very good job. I'm sitting there watching it with them one night. My wife looks over at me and I'm like, what? She goes, you and the guy that plays Jesus, like, you have a lot of similarities. And I'm like, oh wow, really? Oh, okay. So I'd made up my mind right there. You want to talk about and Judge Judy is the GOAT. Like, yeah. With her pink doily underneath her gown, like, yeah, Judge Judy's it. Anyway, so I'm sitting there watching it with her, and my wife, she's like, yeah, you guys have a lot of similarities. And I'm like, really? Okay. So I made my mind up right there. No forethought. There was no discussion to be had. I was like, I'm not going to cut my hair. I'm going to grow it out as long as I can get it. And I'm going to go through a Jesus phase. It's going to be friggin' awesome. Right. She's like, she goes, I don't know if I could go to, like, I don't know if we could do the thing like that. And I'm like, what? She goes, I'd just be looking up and see Jesus. And I'm like, yeah.
Point.
I told her, I said, I would look at you and be like, truly I say to you. And she goes, no, you better not. She goes, I will get up and walk out. And I'm like, oh, okay. So, I mean, I know it's borderline blasphemy, but I'm sitting there going, I'm like, I think I could pull this off, right? Because if I can get my hair, if I can get it long enough by Christmas time, dude, yeah.
See that?
Come on. I mean, it stays sunny down here almost all the time anyway, right? So, I mean, I can just go work out in my yard and just tan and get real dark all year round.
True.
That way, you wouldn't hear the Jesus wasn't white. Well, I know. I'm dark like a Middle Eastern person, though.
Right?
I mean, because I've got that, olive complexion anyway. So,
you're like halfway there.
Yeah, I'm already halfway there. Now, my daughter, on the other hand, she's just fucked because she inherited like the pasty white complexion from her mom. Oh, I pray for her every day. White. Yeah, I mean, my daughter is white to the point where she personifies the term Caucasian.
From the mountains of Caucasus.
Yes. She's from the Slavic region of Caucasus.
That is a white child.
That baby right there has got a 720 credit score right now.
Oh.
Out the box, boom,
dude. That bit right there.
He might. Just because he named him Darren, don't mean he belonged to Darren. That is a white child.
That is a white child.
That motherfucker got a credit score at 720 right
now. Yeah. So my daughter said, she goes, like I said, as long as you are the dude for Halloween. So yeah, the goal is to have my hair long enough and grow my beard out enough for Halloween. She's gonna find an alpaca sweater for me. No, I'm not gonna eat anymore.
This is an excuse to day drink.
Day drink.
Beverage here, man.
I'm going to have Caucasians. That's just it.
Absolutely. You can't be the dude and not drink Caucasians.
I mean, that's like your opinion, man. But yeah, my goal by Halloween is to be the dude for Halloween. Either the dude or Fat Thor.
That'd work too.
Just saying. But
I could pull that off. I might need a wig, but I could pull that off.
You would need a wig, and you'd have to dye your beard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could pull
but
that off.
yeah, but I could definitely I could definitely be the dude by Halloween. You know, take my supplements. You know, do all the proper hair care regimen stuff. Yeah, I would have to get like a really stained up V-neck T-shirt though.
You just wear the same shirt to go out and cut the grass every time.
Well, that's just the thing. I would have to alter that up because you know those cut muscle shirts like that have no sleeves.
Mhm.
I bought one. It's an Under Armour. It's an Under Armour gym shirt. That's what I cut the grass in. Right? It's Marine Corps OD green.
Yeah.
Comfortable ass shirt. And I'm like, dude, this is the most comfortable shirt I own next to my Make America Offensive Again shirt. Most comfortable T-shirt that I own. And it's got no damn sleeves on it.
Not a one.
Of course.
And then I get the weather warning, coastal flood warning near your location. No kidding. Let me see here.
All right, Johnny, let's go ahead and land this thing so I can.
These conditions are expected by 1 a.m, National Weather Service. Yay. Yes, and Belle made it clear that paper has a better tan than she does.
That's well said.
You know, I mean, you can make your own emo jokes, plug them in here, you know, paper, cuts, just kind of saying, ooh, I love you, Belle. I really do. I do. I love you. I could see the look that she's going to have on her face as soon as the delay catches up. She's going to look at the screen, or, you know, she's going to be sitting there and be like, the fuck? Oh, hell no. All right. So, but yeah, we've been trying to land the plane for the last 20 minutes. So let's go ahead and get the gear down. We are throttling down. Flaps are in the air brake position. Your seats need to be in the upright position, and your tray tables need to be stowed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for flying on Nerd Sports flight number 165. We hope that your journey hasn't been too traumatic. And if it has, well, it's just par for the course. Suck it up, Buttercup. These are the rules. Everybody knows it's one bite. Come on.
Yep.
From the bottom of my heart, thank you. You've been indentured. You have been held against your will. Your soul's been assaulted without consent this week. Again, you are welcome. But for Angry Me Production, I'm Johnny Skelton.
I am Chris Jacka.
And I'm Mad Max.
Again, you've been privy. Check out our website, angrymeproduction.com. And as the lesbian pirates say to each other on a very smooth sailing evening, scissor me timbers. Arr.
Arr.
Arr. It's the sea for me. Come on. Click end. Oh my God. I hate it when